it means you are successful too. Yeah, so I'm happy to be here, and I think we are all privileged to be here too. So without wasting time, like the host said, my name is Tulu Lope, but everybody in the data space call me data professor. And we are here today because we want to see we are beginning something great, and we are moving from everything that we've learned, right? We are moving to now put it into real world usage. Now, when you learn a thing and you don't put it to practice, it's practically waste. And I want to believe when we talked about data too, they said that any data that is not being processed or used does not have value. So if you learn something and you do not put it to use, is not valuable until it solves a problem. And that's exactly what we are doing here today, bringing up a challenge. And I'm happy that we have a lot of people that are signing up to want to uh, fix this problem in the form of challenge. Now, I'm not going to waste time, but why is this challenge? Why is this challenge even existing? Now, the main thing is a lot of people have done courses, they've done tutorials, watched videos, but this course is going to make put your hands on real world problem. Now, I will use the word real world problem, I'll use real business problems. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to tell you that you are lucky if you have not actually done any project before. I will tell you that you are lucky to be here because you are going to be solving a real business problem. And I will tell you that this is a real, yeah, but we say it's fictional, but I'll tell you it's a problem that is still existing. When the project file is sent, I think have we'll all be able to touch. And the major thing we are fixing is we're fixing we are solving the problem of profitability. We are solving the problem of inconsistent regional performance, right? We are solving the problem of rising market cost. Now you can see that these things are real problem, and we're also solving inventory inefficiency, more like inventory optimization. So, and it's a rich uh project. I call it a project. And once it's done, at the end of this project, I want to say that you have something, a gold star on your portfolio, because having this project on your portfolio is going to push you further. And I don't know if what I'm saying, I don't know if what I'm saying is actually sinking. You can give me a thumbs up. So my, I like to know that people are actually going along. Yeah. So once again, I will say you're lucky to be here. I'm going to hand over to the other judge. I don't want to say everything because I'm not the only carrier of good news. We also have other good carriers of good news. And I will hand over to my co-judge, the big queen, Nad, so that she can tell us a little bit about the overview of the challenge. And please, in case you have any question, I think there is towards the latter part the of this session, we are going to take questions. So you can just pen it down so we can take all the questions all at once. Queen Nag, please over to you.
Thank you, my king. Thank you, everyone, for paying attention. And hopefully, you came with notepads and pens to note. We'll be dropping some gems along the line to give you ideas on how to approach this challenge. And I just have to start by introducing myself again to you. My name is Nadine Lubanda. I'm a cross-functional analyst, and I've been doing this for too long. So I enjoy it so much that I breathe data now. In my house, it's data. Even the kids, everybody talks about data.
She
This
breathes
that
data.
we're here today gathered is a privilege that Queen Delight has come up with such opportunity to help many, because even here abroad, many of our brothers and sisters are, trying to find their feet. So for you, having an upper hand, having to learn it, get good at it before you ever decide to leave the beautiful Nigeria, you need to thank her for it. It will benefit you for many more years to come. Now, before I tell you what we're here for, what we're looking at, I just need to tell you something very important about this challenge. This challenge is not a dashboard competition, please, everybody. It's not. It's a real business problem that just happened to require a dashboard to solve it. So the distinction will determine everything about how you approach it in the next 2 weeks. And the brief has given you an idea of what we're about to talk about, but I had something in mind, but I wouldn't want to step over and take too much of your time. But at glance, I will break down just in simple language what that brief means, because I know sometimes when we use technical words or big grammatical words, something very simple can sound like it's a massive issue, but it's not. It's very, very clear. Once you understand what you're supposed to do, you will enjoy it and you get started even tonight. So I am handing back over to our CEO to take it from here. If she's going to introduce our third king, the judge who is among us, or if he's not around yet. I can't see him on the thing yet. Before we carry on, otherwise, I'm happy to continue about what I think this challenge is about in brief words to get us all started.
Thank you, Queen. I can see from my screen that Dr. Bernard is not yet available. So with that in mind, I'm handing over to the judges. Thank you so much. Please, those that will be having network problem, tell your network not today. Tell the network not today. I'm recording the session, yes, but anything can happen. So you need to be here till the end of this event, because at the end we are going to call out the list so that you will know the pod that you are, the group that you are. Okay, so don't click that red button. You're gonna stay here till the end of this event. With that being said, I'm handing over to Queen Nad. Thank you so much.
Right. As we dive deep into this brief, which gives us a glance of what this challenge will be about, you have been given a fictional pharmaceutical company details. The company is called Nova Pharma Global. It's a fictional because obviously it has to, for some of us to practice with, some of us to get the grips with what we already know. But if you took a moment to read the business background as well as the challenge they're facing, in a couple of words, I'll probably say already that revenue is growing, the profits are declining, marketing spend is rising, the inventory is failing. So the leadership is confused. What they're going to do? And I'm sure you've come across, even on LinkedIn, you see that it's not an unfamiliar situation. It happens everywhere. Many different kinds of businesses have the same issue. Leadership is always confused. That's why they're hiring you, our people, the qualified challenges of this event, to deal with it and tackle the main issue. Now, this is not a pharmaceutical problem, but it is a visibility problem. And a visibility problem exists in every single industry. No matter if it's healthcare, in a boardroom, any organization that you sit in has data and they don't know what to do with it. So people like you and I, we are gifted into reading into data and bringing out what some other peoples cannot see. So your job is not to describe what happened. They already know what happened. They're losing money. The data already tells us money is leaking. So your job in this challenge is to explain why it's happening, what is causing it, and what the business should do next. In a simple language, how would you explain to a CEO, a CFO, a chief of commercial, a product manager, if they approached you tomorrow morning, what's happening? I've got all these numbers. You will not talk to them about Power BI or SQL or anything like that. You will talk to them about the numbers I've got means this. This is what I'm suggesting you should do. That's what we expect you to do in this challenge. So In simple words, I've just explained to you what this brief is about. In your brief, you had it technically explained and grammatically correct, and I've broken it down in simple English. So your job is to explain why it's happening, what the business should do next. Now, there's three things that will separate the best submission, in my understanding, my humble opinion. I want to give you just three things that will carry on along this analysis. The first one, if you want to write it down, it's fine. If you don't, you can always listen to the recordings after. The first key is please start with the question, not the data itself. Before you even open Power BI, before you clean your data and dive in, ask yourself, what decision does this executive need to make? Every insight you build should point towards a decision that they're supposed to make. It doesn't, it needs to help them decide what's happening next. Otherwise, your dashboard is just going to be a decoration. So now we are coming out of that mindset that this is an exercise. Imagine yourself in a real business. You're working for Amazon, you're working for Walmart, any of the big brand that you know. Imagine you've just been handed this. Consider it a real case scenario that you are being paid to deal with it. So your insight should point towards the decision that the management will take. My second point will be the numbers that you are finding must have a reason behind them. Don't come up with numbers imaginary. No, they have to have a meaning. So for example, Nova Pharma has margin decline. And that's not an insight. That is a symptom because they already know it. What they didn't know, they wouldn't come to ask for it. They already know it. That's why they approached Databeauty tribe to try and find out a solution for them. So your job is to find if this symptom is produced by what? What's causing this symptom of margin being declining? Could it be that they're discounting too many things? The discounting behavior is specific to a particular region? Could it be a product is mixed? I mean, they're mixing the product in a way that when you combine them and sell, you lose money? Could it be the channel they're using for expansion or for distribution, the distribution is causing issues? Or could it be that it is an employee in there, a sales representative, that nobody has noticed that they're slacking behind? So there could be any reason until you dive into the data, then you'll find out what it was. The executives already know. The CEO and the people that sit in the leaderboard, they already know there's a big margin decline. So they hired you to find out why. And my last point will be, when you design your dashboard for the, design it, not for yourself, to your own taste. I like pink and purple and green, and I like the squares and the cones and the waterfall. Do it for the person that you're going to present it to. You're designing your dashboard for the person making the decision from it. Ask the judges. We will ask you questions about your visuals on that dashboard. Imagine if you presented that to a real case scenario, would that executive look at it in 30 seconds in a meeting and understand what you mean immediately? If they don't understand immediately what you mean, it's just decoration, you're wasting time. You need to break it in a way that it brings out the insight and it makes them not to use their head too much any longer to understand what you've done. If the answer is no, simplify it. Clarity is not the absence of depth, it's the presence of direction. As judges, what we're looking for you, we'll be evaluating your criteria. It's not just about, the heaviness of this challenge, but we want you to translate what you're doing in a real life scenario. And the criteria, you have them, and I'm sure my co-judge will walk you through that in a moment as well. You'll have been given the percentage of how the marking will happen. Please invest time in it. And in closing, I just want to tell you to finish off, every dashboard tells a story. So the analysts that uncover the story that can change a business way of working to stop losing money is the one that wins. The story that changed the business is rarely the one that the business expected to hear. So the business can have their own assumption, but it could totally be wrong, and you're bringing them clarity. So your job is to find it anyway, whether they agree to it or not. Present the evidence and give them the clarity they need to move forward. So I personally, I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys will build, and I'm here to just wish you good luck. Thank you very much for listening.
I'm not seeing emoji here. I'm not appreciate our Queen Nod. Please appreciate Queen Nod. Thank you so much, ma'am, for such a powerful opening. So thank you. Now we are handing over to our next judge, Mr. Data Professor. Thank you.
All right, thank you once again, and I want to appreciate you all for sticking around and paying attention. This it's really exciting to be here. I'm enjoying it. Like you said, I don't know if I think data is just I just allow me to practice or to be emotional here. And honestly, I think being datafied, sorry, I'm using the word datafied. Being datafied, I think, is addictive. The moment you get deep into data, you tend to fall in love with it, and it's apparently I've been working with data for the past 6 years, and I literally have worked. Everybody knows that you don't argue with me. If you argue with me, I'll go and bring facts. I'll tell you I believe in numbers. So it's just like an addiction. And yeah, now let's move forward. We've talked about, and I like the fact that the my co-judge said something that was very important. You don't start a project with the data. I know I was reviewing somebody's project last week. I saw it on LinkedIn and I asked, and I told the person, um, what drove this project? Like, what is the problem you wanted to solve before you started this project? And the person told me, oh, I did not have any problem in mind. I just went online, went to Kaggle, I got the data, and I started solving. And I did not go again. I did not continue looking at the project. I just told the person, I said, stop it right there. One thing is go and generate a problem that you want to solve. Then don't let the data tell you. And now you already know that you have to understand the problem, and we have the problem already. We have the brief, and you can always ask questions. Now, I just want to give us an overview of what the data looks like, and I'll run us through the data dictionary. I think we have about seven, about six data sets, right? We have the transactional the sales transaction, which has about 5,000 records, right? And we have the customer data as well. Now, this sales transaction is only having the information about our sales, right? They will now have another 700 records for customers, which means that we have 700 customers that we are looking at in this business. Obviously, that's a dimension table. If you understand what we're going to, that's what we're having this to explain. So a dimension table is what just giving us information about the customer alone, right? So we are not saying anything. So anything that is on that customer table is just the information about the customer. I'm going to run us through everything, and we have the pharmaceutical products table, which is serving as our product table. We have 35 records, right? And we have also, which means we have 35 pharmaceutical products, right? Then we have another table, the country table, which is giving us we have 25 records there, which is giving us about that means we are working around 25 countries, which means what we are doing is intercontinental, right? Because if we have 25 countries, that means it's not just one continent and it's not just one country. We're looking around, which gives us leverage, right? And we also have a sales representative. Remember, the previous job talked about perhaps it could be the inefficiency of the staff. So yeah, we have sales representatives, we have 40 records. So that means we have about 40 sales representatives all together. And we have marketing campaigns. So we have 20 records for that. Now, for our transaction table, we have a few columns on it. I'm going to explain. You can jot down, but I'm going to be as brief as possible so that I don't take the chunk of the time because we still have other things. But yeah, these are the data set I want to work with. The fact sale, which is the sale transaction. We have a sale data on it. We have a sale column. Sorry, I'm not used to calling them column now. I'll call them features because they are the features of the table. So when you're, I think you should look at that. So we have the sale ID feature, which is going to be a unique transaction, a primary key, right, on our sale transaction table. We have a date key, which is a date data type and is referencing our date column, right? Now, which is our transaction date on the table, right? Then we now have the product key, which is identifying the products on our table as the product key, right? And describes the unit that was sold in this business, right? And it's integer, we have numbers like 240, we have numbers like 100 and so on. And we also have okay, I think I could. Yeah, I think I'm literally talking about their businesses. I'll be talking about their businesses also. So the unit sold now is literally going to be used for volume. When you're analyzing volume or you're talking about anything volume. Now we now have the discount. The previous judge talked about, oh, they could have a discount problem. We'll find out when we dig deep into the data. Like we always say, we don't have assumptions in our heads. Now they know they are losing money. They want to find out why. The reason why they are employing data tribe is because they don't want to work based on to they want to have a data driven decision. So that's why, and we have to get that far. So we have a discount feature which is in percentage. So the unit price is also we have a unit price which is in currency, right? And it describes the price per unit. That's the amount that each product is sold per unit, right? And the business use it is going to be for revenue, right? And we now have the discount, right? That's what I was trying to explain. Now the discount is going to be in percentage, right? Or is in percentage because it's already in percentage, and it's describing the discount that was applied for that transaction. So when you see discount, it's just describing the discount applied for the particular transaction, and it's in like I said, it's a percentage, but not in now, but you see it in decimal place. That's in fixed decimal. If you're using Power Query or you're using we call it fixed decimal, which means two decimal places such as 0.10 or 0.12 yeah, and we use it. The business case is basically for pricing, right? And we have a revenue feature as well, which is currency, right? And it describes the net revenue, that is the amount that was generated uh, from a particular transaction, right? And it's used basically the business use is for top line, and we now have the cost as well, a cost feature, which is we have the cost feature which is currency, we have forecast revenue, sorry, forecast revenue as currency as well, and we have currency. So when you see all these values, you see them as currencies. That's the data type that they are stored as. And we also have the opening stock. Yeah, I would like the opening stock. Don't forget we talked about inventory. They could have inventory problem and probably is affecting. Maybe they're not stocking on time, or maybe they're not restocking on time, or they're stocking goods that are not moving. When you do your inventory optimization, you'll be able to find out that I don't want to put any imagination in your head. Let the data tell you, right? Well, our opening stock is an old number, right? This describes the opening inventory, that is the inventory that was used, that that was that was there when the transaction started. They will now have closing stock, which means the closing inventory for that transaction day. Sorry, for the transaction day, sorry. And so the opening stock is the inventory that we use to open the stock, the sale that day, and the closing stock, the closing for that day, right? And we have a reorder level, which is O number, which is describing the minimum stock, right? That's the minimum stock that was taken, and is going to be O number. You know, quantity of products will definitely be in O number, or call them integer, right? And we also have we also have the stock out day. That's the number of days that they are out of stock. That's stock out days. So when you see that in your table, you know that's it. And we have the lead time day, which is the old number, which is the supplier lead time. That is how long it's taking the supplier before they deliver. That's what that literally means, in case you say it. And the use case is basically majorly for planning, right? When you're planning, you know how long the supplier is delivering. That could actually be a revenue, a reason for revenue leakage, right? Now I'm saying I don't want to, but I know I'm still trying to throw some ideas into your heads, right? We now have another table, which is our date table. Now, this date table now has about four columns. It has the date key column, which is a unique identifier for the date. We have the year column, which tells us the calendar year. We have the quarter, which tells us the quarter of the year, right? And we have the month column as well, which gives us the month. And we also have another table, which is the product table, right? The product table has four columns, and the first column that we have on the product table is the product key, right, which is a text data type, and it's just identifying the products, right, which is like example like the product ID, right? And we now have the product name, which is also text, which is the exact name of the pharmaceutical product, right? Then we now have category. Now, this category tells us the therapeutical class of the product, right? And we have the brand, which tells us the brand of the product, yeah. And on that table, we have on that table, like we said earlier, we have the product key, which is the unique identifier for the customer. Sorry, we have the customer, and we have the customer key, which is the unique identifiers for the customers, which means no customer is supposed to have two keys. So a unique identifier. So when I've been saying unique identifier, that's what it means. And we have customer name, which is the name of the customers, right? And we have the segment, that's the customer segment, right? And which we use for segmentation, right? Example of what we have there is, I think we have hospital and all that. So we also have another table, which is the region table. Now, this region table tells us the geographical dimension of our data, and it has about three columns. which is the region key, which tells us the region is the unique identifier for the regions, right? We also have the country, which tells us country of the country where the transaction was made, right? And that's when you're looking at it on the transaction table. And we also have the region, right? That's the region which talks about region here now means continent. Please note that the region, when we talk about region, you see it means continent. Example, we have Africa, we have Europe, we have Asia, right? So when you talk about region, that's what we literally mean, and we use it basically for reporting, right? And then we have the sales rep table. We have the sales rep table, which luckily has just two columns, which has the sales rep key, which is the unique identifier for the sales representatives. And we have the sales rep name, which is the representative. For example, the name of the representative, that's the sales representative. So please, I hope I'm not too fast. If we are on, can I get small thumbs up so that we can. All right, thank you. Thank you. All right, so moving forward, we have another table. We have the channel table, right? I think channel is the distribution of the product. So we have the channel keys or the channel key, which is the unique identifier for the channel, right? And we have the channel itself, which is the sale channel, that's the distributor, you know. The example is the distributor, that's the still channel, how the products are being distributed to the consumers, right? And we also have another table, which is the market table. The market table has two columns on it. It has the market key and it has a market feature as well, which is it tells us, it describes the market, and the example is it's the public market and what have you, you know. Now we also have another table which is very important, but we look insignificant. Now, and I said it's a tricky table, and that's why I'm taking my time to talk about it. It's a tricky table. You might end up doing the project and not see the value for it. But I'll tell you that there's no way you finish the project and not have value for it or not have need for it. Now, it is the target table. Now, this target table has four features on it. It has the period, which talks about the target months, right? Now, the business use for that, for the usage for that, is for planning, right? Then we have the revenue target. That's the monthly revenue target, right? And it's a revenue goal. Now that's what it describes. It describes revenue goal, and the data type is in currency, right? And we're using it for variance to look at the difference between what's the disparity. Let me oh, sorry, I don't want to use let's just look at the oh god, I'm trying to look out, I can break that down. I don't want to use disparity. I don't want to use no, just how the distribution of revenue across customers basically. So we use that's the what revenue target is going to help us do. We have the profit target as well. We also use that for variance, right? And we also have the unit target, which is don't forget when we talk about unit, we're talking about the unit sold. So we have the unit target as we have a target and we look at it. So and we use this for performance. You know the performance. Oh, we are supposed to. The target is to sell 500 products. How many products did we eventually sell? Now you use that to know that. And uh, based on these, the business rules, I'm just going to talk about this basically. The business rules here, we have a few business rules, about five business rules here, which is we said the revenue was generated by using the unit sold multiplied by the unit price, right? By now, that is normal revenue. And don't forget, we called it net revenue. Now it's the unit sold minus the unit price, right? Minus the discount. So whatever we get when we take our revenue, when we deduct our discount from the total amount that we make, that's what we count as revenue, right? Then we have the profit, which is the revenue minus your cost, right? So we have the stock out days. Yeah, we say the stock out day indicates the period when products were unavailable, right? And forecast revenue is used to compare actual versus target performance, right? Like I said earlier, and we have the minor inconsistency, and we have some inconsistency in the data. It's minor, but we actually want to see how everyone can figure out the inconsistency in the data and be able to tackle it, right? I think that's one of the reasons why we call it a challenge. So looking at this basically, and I would like to talk about the deliverables. I think Dr. Bernard, I think I saw Dr. Bernard on the call, which very not quite long. So I'll talk about the deliverables, and I will just hand over the mic to him very quickly. Yeah, so the deliverables we expect at the end of the project, right, is the first thing the participant must submit an interactive Power BI dashboard. Please, mind you, the dashboard is not the main thing that you are looking for. Like the previous judge said, it's just what is showing us all the hard work that you have done behind those, right? Then we also want an executive summary to be submitted, right? Then the insight and impact. That's the insight, what you found, and how it's going to be impactful in the pharmacy or the pharmaceutical company. We want to know that, right? And we want to know your business recommendations as well, right? Then, if you have any supporting reports, yeah, you can add that to it. And I think one major thing that is there, I think submissions should communicate business impact and not just metrics. So it's not just the numbers, the business impact is more important than the metrics. But you know that the metric has to be correct, right? The metric has to be correct. And if your metric is correct, whatever impact you want to use that metric to get is definitely going to be a right direction. So with this little or plenty talk, I feel we have an idea of what the data set is going to look like if you have not looked at it, and what you are supposed to deliver is looking like. So I will hand over to Dr. Bernard if he's still on the call. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Dr. Bernard, please, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Good evening, everybody.
Oh, thank you.
Good evening. Thank you very much. So I don't know if it's possible for people to type in the comments if they have actually gone through the data set yet, or if that has been given to them. I'm not aware of that situation right now. Maybe they've gone through it. But I've been listening to data professor speak, and I think he has okay, not yet. Okay, all right. So I guess this is just the to give you an overview of what we are going to be expecting at the end of the day when we talk about submissions and basically how to get that high score. So this is the tip and tricks sessions. Yes, still the onboarding anyway, as Databeauty calls it. So since everything has been said, the only thing I'm going to be adding is just to give you some some tips or some things that you may want to avoid when you are working on your data set or when you're doing your presentation that would help you score better or at least make us understand what you're doing. So the first thing that you should be thinking about when you are presenting your data is not just to be thinking about um, pouring us with numbers itself. When you are pouring numbers, you should be able to explain why those numbers exist. So when the numbers are existing, you should be able to explain why. You should tell us what is happening and this and that. So in essence, want this process to make you think like a consultant, you should be able to think like one. And what does a consultant do? A consultant does not just bring out a visual that just shows problems. You should be able to explain why the problems and then also have insights as solutions. Yes, so whatever you're suggesting as a solution, as a recommendation for the problem that you may have seen in the business, should also be coming with evidence that it can work. So, and you should remember that in the real world scenario, you're not just designing. All of us are analysts, yes, in this case, but in normal real world case, you may not be speaking to analysts. You may be speaking to other stakeholders that don't like too much. In fact, even analysts, it's not like we want to be hearing too much um or seeing just too much numbers. We want to have a reason and understand what's happening there. So you should be designing your dashboard to speak to stakeholders, big board members, executives, and so on and so forth, as the case may be, and not just because you are in a data challenge that you now be speaking like you're speaking strictly to data people. Yes. And then also you should focus on business outcomes. That is also one of the tips for success. So when we talk about business outcomes, what exactly at the end of the day does this mean? What exactly at the end of the day does this help the business to achieve? Yes. So I think Data Professor has already spoken about the questions and your targets and everything that you should do. So if you focus on that strictly, that's already a guidance for you to know what you're supposed to solve. Because the first things first you ask yourself before ever touching any data set is, what is the problem? Once you find out the problem, then you know where you should start, which column or which part you should start touching. Yes, to find out the problem. And then I think basically the every other thing has been spoken about. So I don't know if there's something else Data Beauty wants me to talk about before I wrap up this session or other things. So I don't know if she's on the call.
Yeah, Dr. Bernard, I sent something in the group chat. Please, can you check it?
Okay, your voice is pretty low, but I think I saw that message. That's
Yeah,
what was stopping me for a second.
yeah.
Okay, give me 1 second. Sorry.
All right.
Yeah. you- So let me speak on it. Hold on. It just dropped. Okay, so we will be talking about. Is this meant for Nadine or
Yeah.
myself? I think I can just speak on it. I was not here when Nadine was speaking, so I think I came a little bit late. Sorry about that. I've not even apologized for joining late. All right. So the I guess you guys will be grouped into teams. I don't know if that has been done yet, but there are some requirements that would help your team to pass. Some requirements that will help your team to pass. Yes. One of them is you have to actively participate as a team. So your team members definitely need to. Everybody needs to contribute meaningfully. You can't just leave the work for one person. So there should be collaboration. So at the end of the day, we should not just find out that only one or two members took the entire job and did it alone. That would not be really good. The second thing is to complete the business case. You've been presented with a business problem. Make sure you must show that you understand the business problem clearly. Demonstrate that clear understanding, and then use the data that has been provided to you to bring the insights and then the recommendations. Simple and straightforward. I believe that is simple. Now, every required deliverables must also be submitted. Dashboard, files, report, presentation, and everything must be submitted before the deadline. So deadline will be presented and everything will be spoken about, I guess, in your various groups as well. You should take note of that as well and submit every single thing before the deadline. Like I already mentioned before, these are some of the requirements that your team must do to pass. So your solution as well must be presented to clearly communicate your approach, your findings, your key findings, your business insights to data judges. But like I mentioned before, all your recommendations should be backed by data, not just random recommendations that have data but you don't. Okay, so your recommendation should be backed by data. You present it clearly to communicate your approach. Then, Data Beauty Tribe is also on social media platforms. You should be following Data Beauty Tribe on social media across different social media platforms to stay connected with this challenge. So if you've not done that yet, you should go and do that right away. Just go search Data Beauty Tribe on LinkedIn, YouTube, and other platforms as well. The sixth thing, I've mentioned five now. The sixth thing is to share this challenge to your other people. Share their Each participant should share this experience or the completed work on their various platforms. So as you're working on it, this helps you to build publicly as well. This definitely helps you build publicly. So you're not just it helps you build your career so people know that you're a data person and not just someone that cannot handle a task. So as you're working on it, you are meant to share it on LinkedIn, X, Instagram, and so on and so forth. Share, highlight your project, the lesson you're learning, the dashboard, the team experience, and everything. And also tag Data Beauty on that post when you are making it. So that is pretty straightforward. I'm going to repeat that again. Share what you are learning, share what you've built, share your team experience on social media, and tag Data Beauty. Make sure you find out the handle directly so that you can share it with them. In guidelines already, plagiarism, different things, just there should be professional conduct and collaboration. So don't take somebody else's work and claim it is yours, or just any unprofessionalism would lead to your disqualification. Everything must be done professionally and conducted professionally as well. Then, as well, the judges have been given a criteria for scoring you. So, we are going to be scoring you in a particular criteria. So, if you must meet the minimum judging score after completing the activities, you must meet that overall score. Um, Otherwise, well, you have not passed. So, I guess that's a summary at the end of the day. So, these are 8 requirements that your team must do to pass. Because you're participating in this challenge does not automatically mean that you're passing the challenge. Your team must satisfy all these requirements and demonstrate that you understand the required standard of work during judging. So that's basically it. Like data professor said before, this is not just about building a dashboard. It is about helping you to think like an analyst, so and also learn how to collaborate like a team. So you should utilize this opportunity. It's very, very important. In the real world, you're not just going to be building dashboard for the sake of it. You have to be able to communicate your work as well, communicate insights effectively, and build that visibility around your work. And posting on social media helps you to build visibility around your work, whether on your WhatsApp status or anyway, that one you can't tag Data Beauty, but the public one that everybody sees and like thousands of people that don't even know you can see is LinkedIn, X, YouTube, wherever the case may be, wherever you're comfortable with or you feel is okay. But I will advise that you definitely post on LinkedIn and X. In fact, I'll say if you can post everywhere, but just it might be stressful, but LinkedIn and X just take it very seriously anyway. Because people easily search for things and find it there. So I think that summarizes the Data Beauty Business Challenge requirements. And I hope I've been able to take each one and explain them properly so that nobody says that they don't understand. There are 8 requirements and each one should be followed accordingly. All right, so that brings me to the end of what I'm talking about. So I guess that's all the lights.
Thank you so much, Dr. Baynard.
Yeah.
We appreciate. Okay, so I'll be sharing my screen now to read out different ports and where your name falls. So we have 8 ports. So just give me a minute while I share my screen. Please, if you are seeing my screen, you just notify me. Give me a minute, please. All right. Please, if you are seeing my screen, just let me know. If you are seeing my screen, can you hear me?
Yes, we can see your
Yes, we
screen.
can see
Oh,
your screen
oh,
clearly.
great. Let me go back. Good. So this is the. Thank you so much. This is the. We have 8 parts for this challenge. The first one we have the gold pot, the diamond pot, platinum, silver, sapphire, emerald, ruby, and pearl. Now for the first group we have Oyinlola Kayode, Nura Jimo. Now the way this was grouped is from advanced to beginner, so that is how it was arranged. So for the first one, Oyinlola Kayode, Nura Jimo, Onwe Bonaventure, Otito Sunday. For the second group, we have Rukayat Awolala, Abasi Freke Epan, Ndagi Abdul, Blessing Agim Hezelo. Now for the third one, we have Inyoluwa Ajayi, Ofolebe Cindy, Tohib Akim, Eric Yuma. For the fourth group, we have Chisom Precious, Deborah Obasi, Jennifer Ele, Chinaza Nwafo. For the fifth group, we have the Valeria Kelechuku, Miriam Ogundeyi, Enolaji Ayomide, Tochukwu Okeke. The sixth group, we have Umesiebu Shalom, Ihuoma Ijoma, Madu Vivian. The seventh group, we have Ebere Emeka, Olayinka Omotosho, Olaomo Favor, Omodolapo Oladokun, Enolaji Ayomide. And for the last group, we have Abigail Abiodu, Ayobami Agbeyo, Precious Duruwando, Abiodu Victor, and Olanrewaju Mercy. So in all, we have um, 34 participants. So let me stop presenting. So we'll be sharing the the link to the business case study. I think the judges will have that. They already have the link to the business case study. So that is it. On 10th of August, there is going to be a gathering like this, but this time around, you're going to come with questions. Maybe there are some things that your team have been doing that you need clarity on 10th of August, which is going to be on a Monday. There is going to be a meeting where you bring so far what you've done. If there's any questions, the judges are here to answer the question. Now, submission is um on 24th, of August, which is also on a Monday, on 24th of August. That is the submission day. So after submission, we are going to communicate a day for the presentation to know who win and who didn't win. And also, after this challenge, we are still considering this, so I'm not going to say it out. I'm going to discuss it with the judges, but be rest assured that you're going to hear the information on 10th. So I'm going to tell you about it because we've not finalized. All right, everyone. It has been such an amazing evening, but if you have any question, please feel free to ask.
I think somebody already asked a question on the chat, so maybe let me just quickly speak about that before the other people. Somebody said, "Please, what if the team members are not responding?" So I think you just do the same thing that you do in the real world. I don't know if the lights would have something to add after this,
No,
but
I
generally,
I intentionally asked for numbers. Okay, um, so if your team members are not responding, reach out to me. Okay, you have our email address, databeautytribe@gmail.com. Reach out to me. If you have my contact to reach out to me, I'll be able to call them to know what is happening. So we have each and everyone's contact here. Thank you. Chinaza 14, please unmute and talk.
Okay, sorry, please. I wanted to just ask the group. Are we going to be added into a group and the link will be sent to us? Or because I don't think I'm in any group for apart from the normal data beauty group that I'm in.
Okay,
Hello,
Chinaza, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, ma.
Okay, great. Um, I've listed. I don't know how is this gonna
Sorry,
be
mistake.
because I was. Chinaza, why are you laughing?
Oh, it was a mistake. Sorry, I was trying to put down my hand and then I made a mistake.
Oh, no problem. Now for the group, the names that I've listed, I'm going to send an no, it's going to be tedious. I need a suggestion. Sondo Tito, please let's answer one before your own. Queen Nads, please.
I have a suggestion, so I don't know if that makes sense.
All right, Queen.
Okay, so I don't know, but I think everybody got the name of people in their pod. So if and everybody is on Data Tribe group, if you can maybe communicate with your team members and probably maybe create another WhatsApp group where you guys can communicate for the rest of the period.
You know, it's not everyone that is here that is data beauty that is in data beauty tribe. I'm not, you can see it's not everyone here that is on Data Beauty Tribe. So some people came here from TikTok, some came here from X, some came from Instagram. So we have so many people from so many platforms. So what oh, okay, no, Queen Nad wants to suggest something. Queen, please, you can talk.
Yes, I was going to suggest, since people came from different platforms, what if, let's say, each pod has, I noticed, about 4 or 5 people among themselves, because I am not sure how they work, but some of them could be students, some of them could be employees, some of them could be, parents. Everybody has a different kind of 24 hours in their day. So why don't you let each group, they find a day and time, they regroup themselves away from us and agree on how they're going to be communicating. So my suggestion would have been they create a WhatsApp group with them 5 in it, and then they add you on there. So you'll be the eyes to see how each group is communicating, how they're working. So if there's an issue, intervention can happen before it reached 10th of August, and then nothing was done because candidate A was expecting candidate B to do the cleaning. Candidate B said the other one, the laptop died. All these kind of little discrepancies. So if they have like a team leader in their own separate pod, they say, okay, we are 5 of us. We have Natalie, we have Frank, we have this and that. Who wants to be the one who will be handling the communication? So they have a WhatsApp for themselves, so they can be meeting, agreeing, working together, but you will be an overseer. So they add you on their group. So each of them, all the 8, will have you on it. So you'll be able to actually keep an eye on who is working forward, if there's, disagreements or not. That's what I was going to suggest.
Thank you, Queen Nad. Okay, for the group, the first name there, I intentionally put the first name there are advanced analyst. The first name is the team lead. Yes, the team lead are put as the first name. Yes. So I intentionally did that because I know that. Oh, Sharon, why are you crying? Oh, yes. So there has to be someone that will relay back to us and tell us what is happening and what is not happening. Yes. So I'm going to screenshot each pod. I'll screenshot it and send to the team leads. I have their contact. I'm going to send to the team leads, and when I'm sending it to you, I'm sending it with the contacts of the others and their email address. So if you can't reach them on phone, reach them with their email. Is that okay? All right, thank you so much. Thank you. Any other Sondo Tito, you can unmute and talk. Sundo Tito, your hand was up. Or you don't have any question?
Sorry, I've spoken already. Just forgot to bring down my hand.
All right, thank you so much. So, if there is no other question, if there is no other question, I presume that with the um please can you still hear me? Can you hear me since my okay, good.
Yes, we can.
Good. So, with this information that we've all heard and the clarification that our judges have intentionally given to us, in fact, I was listening when Mr. Data Professor walked us through on each of the data set so that we can have a clear understanding. And also, those that are in data tribe knows that I don't like recording. I don't like recording, but I intentionally recorded this because of hey, I was not around, so it's not gonna happen. You have the recording here. So with that being said, I think we are going to come to the end of today's yeah, we declare I suggest that they also should create a team in Google. Let me read that out. Let me see that suggestion. It's cutting out. I suggest that the author should create a team in Google Chat. That way you will have already added everyone into the group. As Queen Na say, everyone has what they are doing with their 24 hours. Some people might not be able to join the group till almost deadline. So you're suggesting we create a Google Chat. Jimo, can you unmute and talk? Jimo, is she still here? Can you hear me? Jimo Nurahat. A Google chat. Please, I can't speak right now. Please, who knows what she's talking about? A Google chat. Because I have no idea. Please, someone, if you know, just help me clarify so that I will know what she's talking about.
Is she trying to talk? Is it Google Sheets she wants to type? Maybe it's Google Sheets she
No,
wants to type.
I think she's talking about an app for Google Chat. Like you create a Google Chat. It's almost like a
Hi, good
WhatsApp.
evening.
It's almost like a WhatsApp. Okay,
Hi,
sorry.
good evening. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, it's also like a WhatsApp chat. Unlike WhatsApp that you can't add some people. Some people has already restricted their contact or maybe or no contact to add them to the group. So when you're in Google Chats, you just have to add their email. With their email, you will be able to add everyone to the group as the author, I think. So you'll be able to add everyone, you will group everyone to the groups they are supposed to be. So that way you have already added everyone to the group and we will communicate as we should.
All right. I'll check this out tonight. By tomorrow, if it works, you're going to see yourself in a group. If it doesn't, your team lead will reach out to you. So whichever one. All right, thank you so much for your suggestion, Jimo. I truly appreciate. All right, with that being said, let the business challenge open. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I would have to say a good night. Thank you so much for coming. Bye.